everyone. My name is Charishma, and welcome to another lesson by the International Neuroscience Ambassadors Program. So today I will be telling you about phospholipid bilayer. So first of all, we all know that within the human body, there are over 75 trillion cells, and there is fluid present inside the cell as well as outside the cell. So the fluid that is present inside the cell is known as intracellular fluid, and the normal volume in the human body is about 28 liters, and it constitutes a large amount of potassium, phosphate, magnesium, and sulfate ions, as well as a large amount of proteins. Next, coming to the fluid present outside the cell, as the name suggests, it's called extracellular fluid. It is of two types, interstitial fluid and plasma. So the main difference between interstitial fluid and plasma fluid is interstitial fluid is the fluid that is present between the cells of a tissue, and it tends to have low protein content and less amount of dissolved oxygen, whereas plasma refers to the liquid component of the blood, and it tends to have high protein content and more amount of dissolved oxygen. Apart from that, the normal volume of extracellular fluid is 14 liters, and it has a large amount of sodium, chloride ions, and bicarbonate ions. So, as you know, an animal cell does not have a cell wall. Instead, it only has a cell membrane. And the phospholipid bilayer is an important component of the cell membrane. This is because it is responsible for the selective permeation of certain molecules in and out of the cell. That means only certain compounds will be allowed to enter the cell. And the lipid bilayer acts as a barrier. So, the lipid bilayer, as the name suggests, it consists of two layers. You can see here, there's one layer here, there's another one. So basically a phospholipid, it contains two parts, a tail and a head. So it has a hydrophilic phosphate head and a hydrophobic hydrocarbon tail. So hydrophilic means it loves water, and hydrophobic means it is averse towards water. So the head, which is composed of phosphate, prefers water, whereas the tail, made of hydrocarbon, is averse to water. Now, apart from that, you can see these purple parts. These are nothing but proteins. They're like integral proteins that are responsible for the movement of ions from in and out the cell membrane to in and out the cell. So one type is a voltage-gated channel. So a voltage-gated channel basically functions on the basis of how the membrane's potential is. So the membrane potential alters the conformation of the voltage-gated ion channel, and that's how it opens and closes. So let me show you another image of a voltage-gated channel. So you can see here the gate is closed at -70 millivolts, but as soon as the voltage was changed, it opened and the ions are moving outside the cell. Usually, like I mentioned here, if you remember, in the extracellular fluid, tends to have a large amount of sodium and chloride ions. The reason is because within the cell, potassium is present in higher constituent, whereas outside the cell, sodium is of higher concentration, and so is chloride. So I hope you learned more about the phospholipid bilayer, and these are the team members. I'm Charishma, and thank you for watching.